Hey everyone, today we're going to go ahead and take a look at Bolt 2, which is a visual scripting solution for the Unity engine. Very similar to Blueprints, which is on the Unreal Engine, with the exception of while it has been promoted by Unity, Bolt is not official. Actually, Unity is actually creating their own official one, but Bolt is a very good alternative, for visual scripting here on Unity. So let's go ahead and jump right in to see how it looks, because this is a preview. The build I'm using is actually preview, I think the 5th preview. So let's check it out here. Right now we have a little ground here, and then we have a little character. We're going to name him Jump Capsule. That's his name, Jump Capsule. So what we're looking at here is actually kind of a prototype for a 2.5 game, very similar to the new Super Mario Brothers games and things of that nature here. So we're going to have him run left to right and go ahead and jump at the same time. So let's go ahead and get started. So you go ahead and install the game, and install the program. And then what you want to do is once it's installed, go to Add Component and click on Flow Machine. Now, what it'll do is it'll give you 2 scripts, a variable script and a flow machine script. The flow machine script is definitely what you need. Before we continue, let me go ahead and add in a rigid body. A rigid body basically gives the actual character here physics, and that's very important. So we also want to freeze certain things here. So we want to freeze all the rotations and then freeze the z-axis. That'll make it so that way the character will only move to the left and to the right and up and down, and that's it. It won't spin around or anything like that unless I want it to spin around. You don't want that, because then it'll go ahead and bounce all everywhere, and yeah. So let's go ahead and get started here. We got the flow machine right here. So let's go ahead and shoot here, Force Live. I just want to see what Force Live does at this point. And I'm going to go ahead embed it. And here you go. So this is the script right here. So it looks really good here. A lot cleaner than the other ones do. Usually the other ones are from left to right. This one is actually from top down with a little left to right stuff. You'll see in a minute. And the first thing I want to show you is something that's really cool that's coming out, and everyone's absolutely going crazy about this, as well as I am. You click on Windows, you click on Bolt, and then you can click on C# preview, and right here it gives you a preview of the C# code, which is incredible. It allows you to go ahead and learn how to code while you're even doing this, which is fantastic. It also helps people to go ahead and troubleshoot it. For example, I so happen to know how to use both Bolt and C#, but if I didn't know how to use C#, it was definitely good that I can go ahead and look at the script and be able to go ahead and troubleshoot. So let's go ahead and get started here. So, and I want you to take a look at up here, right where it says void update, because you see right here, start update, and as I click on it, it highlights. So I can go ahead and add in a unit, which if you look right here, gives you all the list of units that you can use on here, as well as other units. So for example, game object, which allows you to go ahead and do different things regarding the game object. Here's a transform, which is the location, the scale, and the rotation of the object. Mesh filter, mesh renderer, rigid body, capsule, collider, all the stuff that we need to go ahead and make a game. So we can go ahead and click on transform, and from here you have all kinds of things for the transform. But what we're going to look for is actually transform translate. So we're going to go ahead and click on this one. So as you saw right there, as I clicked on translate, if you look up there, it showed the game's script, the code for the game just showed up for that particular thing here. So translate was right here, the unit translates right here, and right here you have the actual code. Now it's a little bit different, because if you was actually writing code, it would be public void update, and what you would do is you would actually put in transform.translate. You wouldn't need to put game object.transform.translate, because it's usually it's common sense that it's going to be whatever it's connected to. So unless you want to change it, but you get what I'm saying. But yeah, that is something a little different, but that's about it. So it's a little extra stuff, but nothing really groundbreaking or hurting the actual preview here, or the solution. Speaking of solution here, here's something that's really cool here. The second thing I like is overloads. So if you take something here, you can right click it, click on overloads, and it'll show you different versions of what you posted there. So imagine this may not be what you want. So for example, with this, if I wanted to go ahead and do the solution that I'm trying to do now, the code that I'm trying to do now, I would have to go ahead and do here, and I would have to go ahead and create a new vector 3. Oh, I guess I can do this one, because I'm doing a 2D5 game and things of that nature. And while I can do that, I can also just go ahead and change this into this one. So now I have all of them here, that I can use separately, the x-axis, the y-axis, and the z-axis. And of course, it's all represented up here as well in the preview. So let's go ahead and make this character move. So I'm going to go ahead and add a unit, and we're going to go ahead and put in the access. So we want to go ahead and put get access, and we're going to do get access, the regular one. Usually for certain games, get access raw might be the one you want to get, because that's more of an arcade style, you know, without analog stuff like that, you know. But in this case, because I'm pretty sure the character's going to be zooming across the screen, I'm going to want to put this one. So horizontal is what we need. There we go. Had a tough time spelling it. And then we're going to go ahead and put this and spread it here. We want to do multiply. I'm going to do multiply float by float and then connect it to the X. So here you go. You got a nice setup right here, and everything's good. And you see right here, it's in the code. However, we do need one more piece of code here. So right here in the variables, I'm going to add in a new variable. And basically a variable is a kind of a number or an object that you can go ahead and change out anytime you want to, you know. And so we're going to add in a variable here, and we're going to add a float variable. Now, for the record, a float variable is a number that has a decimal. So 0.5, 0.9, 1.7, as long as it has a point, it's a float. So we're going to put 0.75 right here. All right, and then now we got that, we can go ahead and take our variable and just drag it, bang, right into the scene. And then going back here, and we can go ahead and add this to the other one here. So now that we've done that, if you look here, here's the code right here. It looks great. Let's maximize the code so we can see it. All right, game object, transform.translate, get input, input.get access horizontal, which is right, times variable object, get object. This is what I meant by a lot of extra stuff. Now, I know why it's doing this, because right here, this variable is a total different script from the float canvas one. But the reason why I'm saying that is because usually, if you're writing code, at the very top, you would have put in something like public float speed equals 0.75? 0.75 f, like this, and you would put that at the top. So when it came time for you to write the code, you would put transform.translate input.get access horizontal. I'm sorry if I'm typing stuff wrong, but times speed, and that's all you need to do is type speed and then 0f and then 0f. So you wouldn't really need to go ahead and you wouldn't really need to go ahead. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay. You wouldn't need to go ahead and do certain things, like you wouldn't need to convert it to a float because it's already a float. So I don't know why it's converting, but this is all that you would actually need to type in. But because, like I said, because of the way this is made, it'll give you extra, but that's fine. Extra is no big deal. So right now, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Let's go ahead and hit play. Excuse the background noise. My computer's right next to me. I apologize for that. So if you go ahead and do that right here, come on, play. You can play. I believe you can play. There you go. So if you go ahead and do the game here, as you see here, it's already moving left and right. All I'm doing is just putting the A and the D key back and forth. And of course, I can also use my controller, which I'm using my Xbox controller right here to the right of me. And of course, you know I am, because I can go ahead and move slow like this. You can't do that with a keyboard. So, and if you also look down here, you'll notice that as I move left and right here, it's actually giving you different values. And basically, that's how it'll go ahead and determine how fast the actual character needs to move left and right. So, awesome. So, another thing that you could do is you can go ahead and replace. So, imagine for a second that this is something that we don't want. Okay, we hit in times. We don't want times. So, let's go ahead and replace it. We can click on replace. And then we can replace it with absolutely anything that we want. And sometimes it may not be the right thing. So equals is not right. So, but you can replace it with anything that you want. Now you should watch out for that. But I definitely recommend, if you're going to use anything, you definitely want to get and use overlords. So here's another one. Just click on this to see what that's up. Same thing. Okay. So yeah. And of course, it also has the ability to inspect as well. So inspect will give you pretty much all the information you need to go ahead and do this particular unit, including a description which says translate moves the transform by x along the x-axis, y along the y-axis, and z along the z-axis. That's actually really good to know. So okay, we made it. Now we got to go in left and right. So let's make a little bit of a new Super Mario Brothers prototype and make it jump. Let's make it jump. All right. So we're gonna go ahead and make this jump right now by going ahead. I'm gonna type keyboard. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna do button. Now keep in mind this is the first I'm doing button here. On button input, there you go. I believe jump is an actual one right there. So there should be more to this code, but we're just going to go ahead and do a quick coding here to make it jump. So once again, notice that it's green, which means that that's where the code can begin. That's the events. So green, green, green. And if you want to make a custom event right here, you can do right here. It'll also be green. So in this case, we're not going to do a custom event, but it allows you to do custom events. And so, yeah, I mention that because most coders know that you don't want to put your movement stuff in your update, but it is good for now. We're just doing a preview. All right, so we got it on input, the jump and action down. So you got down, hold, and up. We're going to put down. As you see right here in the code, it says on the button input, which is really funny because usually that's not the code, but whatever. Usually it's just if button, you know, I wonder. Hold on a second. Input. Just seeing here if I just want to see, because usually you can just go ahead and put another different type of code here for the to go ahead and detect the actual button input, but it is what it is. So anyway, so on button down, we're going to go ahead and we're going to put force. And what we're looking for is actually, I'm going to put this better here, the rigid body force. And this will add force to the rigid body here. So you can go ahead and choose what you want. Now, this one will work, but I'm going to need something a little different here. So I'm going to right click overlords, and I'm going to choose this one right here. This will give me a little bit more freedom to go ahead and choose what I want to do. Now, first of all, I need to go ahead and put a value here. And remember how I told you left and right for the x-axis? Well, y does up. So I need to put a value here. And if I remember, I did put a, oh, I didn't do it. Oh, well, let's do it now. And variables, we're going to add in a variable for jump. So we're going to call it jump. And we're going to go ahead and make it a float. It doesn't really matter when it comes to jumps. And I'm going to put 8 because why not? So here you go. Drag it here. Drag it on the y-axis because remember I said y goes up and down. And then here in mode, we're going to go ahead and choose where we want force, acceleration, impulse, and change velocity. So they all have a different thing here, but impulse is actually the right answer for jumping here. So, all right. So now we've done that, let's see how it works. I actually don't know if jump is actually the right, I got the action name button named jump. I'm not even sure if that's actually right. So let's give it a try. It is right. Okay. Usually it's jump and fire or fire one or whatever the case may be. So as you notice, every time I hit the space bar, it'll go ahead and change color and it'll show you right here that the information is going through as well as the data that's going through over here. And of course I can hit, oh, there you go. Apparently for some reason on the controller to jump is actually Y. I don't understand why it's Y, but whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so there you go. So let's add in a little extra fun just because we can. What I'm going to do here on the character, I'm going to go ahead and add in another component. I'm going to add in the audio source. This will make it so that way the actual character can actually play sounds. And so I'm going to go back up here to the variable script here. I'm going to type in jump, jump sound. Now, I know for a fact that I actually have some sounds here. So I'm going to go ahead and find an audio clip. There you go. So now it's asking for the actual audio clip that it's looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and look here. And I just so happen to have a folder that says sounds. So I think I'm going to use, let's try, do I have any jump sounds? Let's do big jump. Okay. So I got to change this back to audio because for some reason it changed. And big jump right here. All right. So now we have a variable for, remember, variables hold not just not just numbers, but also things like audio files or anything that you want, even 3D objects. All right, so let's go back here, and we're going to add in another right here. We're going to connect something here, and we're going to add in, let's see if we can do it through audio source. There you go, play one shot. All right, so once again, remember, you can go ahead and click overloads, and you have different versions. So I can click with volume scale, but I don't want that one. I'll just do the regular one here. And it's asking what clip. It says clip cannot be null. It needs to be something. Null means nothing. So we're going to drag once again over here, and then drag it here. And we know it's good because it's not yellow. All right, so that means that it's accepted it. So let's go ahead and see how everything works. Oh, there you go. It's going a little bit slow right now for some reason. There you go. Took some time for things to load. All right, so as you see right there, it is loading. Looks like I got some things running in the background. I apologize for that, but I am able to go ahead and get the character to go left and right, and then jump, as well as doing sound effects. So not only did you see me preview this particular type of coding, but this coding solution, visual coding solution, excuse me, but you also saw me do a quick prototype of Super Mario Brothers, or the new Super Mario Brothers at least. Well, actually, no. This code would actually work for the original any 2D Mario game. So there you go. So how do you like it? Do you like it? Me personally, I like it. I love the way it looks here. I like the way everything is and the way things are set up and things of that nature. So I'm absolutely loving it. I think it's a fantastic program, and I'm definitely looking forward to using it in future endeavors. I can't, seriously, I love this part. Being a game developer, like, you would think that something simple like this gets old. It doesn't. It never gets old for me. And I've been doing game development for about, what, 10 years? God, 10 years now. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'm looking forward to your answers, and if you have any questions, put it in the comments below. You guys have a good night.